This episode of the Bad Crypto Podcast is brought to you by eToro. The best way to be smart about trading crypto is to use the smartest trading platform. And you can get $25 in free Bitcoin from Bad Crypto when you go to badco.in/eToro and follow the easy instructions. That's badco.in/eToro. The rusted chains of prison moons are shattered by the sun. I walk a road, horizons change, the tournament's begun. The purple piper plays his tune, the choir softly sing 3 lullabies in an ancient tongue for the court of the crypto queen. And with a fond nod to King Crimson, one of my favorite bands, today we welcome our favorite Irish crypto enthusiast, Jillian Godsil, to the show. Known to some as the crypto queen, there's the connection. Jillian's made a mark in the crypto world through her writings, speeches, and leadership. We discuss the importance of having women in blockchain and toss in a few bad Irish accents. Well, ours are bad. Hers is real. It's the top of the morning and kiss our blarney stones. Episode number 284 of the really, really bad crypto podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, ignition.
Who's bad?
I got to tell you, Mr. Joel Comm, I'll not be kissing your blarney stones. That's very inappropriate for you to ask me that.
You know, I was in Ireland for the first time last year.
I don't care, Mr. Joel Comm. Very inappropropriate.
And just go.
I am extremely offended.
Hey, go have a Guinness stout.
I say.
Have a Guinness stout and shut up for a second.
May I have a Guinness beef stew?
Yes, you may. It's some meat pie.
I shall.
We went to the to see the Blarney Stone. It was 2 hours to get into the castle, and then another 2-hour line to kiss the stone. I said, "You can kiss my," I wasn't going to wait that long to put my lips on a piece of rock that's had a million other people. It's like, it seems to me though. This is where you go to get a communicable disease. It's the Blarney Stone.
Come to the Blarney Stone and get your STD.
PDQ. Welcome to the Bad Crypto Podcast.
What a beautiful country, though.
It is a beautiful country for the Irish curious and the Irish serious. And we've got...
Nice, it's the Bad Irish Accent Podcast.
Jillian is delightful. She's really got a lot to say, very prolific, has been in the blockchain and the PR space for a long time. So I think that you are all going to really enjoyify our discussion. But first, a shout out to our show sponsor, Mr. Travis Wright. Who in the world is CCP Digital?
CCP Digital is a digital marketing agency for all your digital marketing needs. If you need advertising on the Googles, on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, any of those platforms, CCP Digital can help take your brand to the next level by getting in front of your ideal targets. That's what's important, is getting in front of the people who are going to buy your product or service. So go check it out, ccp.digital.
Get in front of all the little people there, Mr. Travis Wright.
What was that? That was an old Disney movie where there was like a little Irish dude, and it was not Gulliver Travels, but it was like some other little.
Yeah, it was Dobie Gillis.
That was what it was. Wow, that's like some from like my 3-year-old brain.
Yeah, not Darby O'Gill. That was it. Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Okay. That was it.
And the Little People. Yeah, wow. That was weird. That was like a weird reference. Darby O'Gill and the Little People. That is exactly what it is. 1959 production. Mm-hmm. I remember that. I remember seeing it when I was a little kid.
Did you Google that or DuckDuckGo it? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I DuckDuckGo. I have DuckDuckGo as my default. Did I say Google?
I just wanted to know how. I looked it up on DuckDuckGo. I looked it up on Bing. I stand corrected. I did not look it up on the Googles though, because
all of my default searches are either Bing or DuckDuckGo. I no longer search.
Have you fully moved to the Brave browser?
No. Because there's some sites that, the JavaScript sort of kills the site. And so I spend about 50% of my time there. I'm trying to wean off of Chrome. I did get rid of Google Fiber from my home. So I no longer have Google there. I don't have an Android device. I do have an Android device, but I don't necessarily use it as my main device. But I have one just to play with. But it's not my main. So I'm trying to get as de-Googlify as much as possible.
Let's talk more about all those good things after the interview with the crypto queen, Jillian Godsil. And I think we are about to break new ground today. That this might be, in all of the recordings we've done in 2 years of Bad Crypto, the first woman from Ireland is joining us. Her name is Jillian Godsil. She's a blockchain advocate, founder, conference chair, woman in blockchain advocate, keynote speaker, crypto journalist, broadcaster, CEO, writer, homelessness advocate, former MEP, a law changer, a mother, which might be the hardest job of all, a choir member, a hill walker, and a dreamer. She's here to talk all things blockchain with us. Jillian, welcome to Bad Crypto.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
Yeah, where are you joining us from?
I am joining you from, I'm actually outside Dublin. I'm further south. I live in a very, very pretty village, a very small village called Coolboy. And I live in a very old cottage, but it's been done up, so it's nice and modern. And the best thing of all, the village is a very friendly little village, tiny little village, and I'm about 50 yards from the pub.
Oh, well, perfect.
That's important. That is important when you're in Ireland.
I don't use it enough, I have to say, but it's a lovely little pub, very friendly. 50 yards there, 50 yards back, or maybe 60 yards back if I...
That's great. Is that sunshine? Is that sunshine behind you?
Yes, we are having some nice weather. It's
nice.
Yeah, unusual.
I did not. I was in Dublin. I was in Ireland, I think 4 days. I saw no sunshine.
Well, we have a lot of rain. That's why we're so green. We are a green country, and to be green, you need rain. So, and do you know what happens too as well? Often happens. Like this morning, I got up early. I went for a walk because I live in a very hilly part of the countryside. It's very beautiful. The sun is beautiful, and by about 9 o'clock, the clouds tend to come in a bit, and then it might rain. So you have to be an early bird to get the sun.
That's why you got to be like, all right, let's go to the pub.
Yeah, exactly.
I was in Ireland for the first time last year. I was invited to speak in Dublin, and then we hired a driver to take us around the island, and we went. Of course, he took us to the Blarney Stone, and then it was a 2-hour wait to get in, and another 2 hours to kiss the stone. And I said, "You can kiss my," and yeah. So that was. There was no Blarney Stone, but we went to Killarney and went out to the west, coast, and it was absolutely lovely. The people were lovely. It was, better than I had imagined it would be, and I'm looking forward to going back one day.
Good. Do you know what is nice? Is sometimes I forget because I live here, obviously. Is that there's so much variety of landscape. Mm-hmm. And so much variety of landscape, and then also we have a lot of very strong cultural history too as well. There's a lot of ancient castles and buildings and churches. So for a visitor, it's very nice as long as you don't come here for the sunshine.
Right. No, I was not there for the sunshine.
That's great. So Joel got a chance to tour around the whole island, right? For the most part.
Well, not the whole thing. We did, but we did put a good bit of kilometers onto the odometer.
My favorite thing about Ireland was going to the Guinness storehouse and discovering Guinness beef stew.
Oh, yes, very nice.
It is amazing. And in fact, there's a barbecue place here in my town that does this amazing burnt ends of beef. And so they create their own burnt end beef stew like on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And now it's Wednesday, so I'm probably going to have to go there and get some today. But what's cool about it is all you got to do is put some mashed potatoes on top of it, and it's almost like Guinness beef stew.
Wow.
So good.
Did you try the Guinness while you were here as well?
I tried Guinness. And once I discovered Guinness beef stew, I had Guinness beef stew everywhere that I could in Ireland. I was like, this is so good. Do you have beef? You have a Guinness beef stew? Yes, you do. Yes.
Well, welcome to the Bad Guinness Beef Stew podcast. We're here to talk about all things cultural in Ireland, but also to talk about the cryptos. You are a co-founder and journalist at blockleaders.io. So maybe tell us, how did you get involved in the crypto space?
Oh my goodness. Do you want the long version or the short version?
Well, give us the short version, and then we'll get your state of, your ideas on the current state of crypto.
Okay. Well, I'll make it as short as I can, right? I've worked in fintech all my life. My first job was at JP Morgan after Trinity College. I was hard in the middle ground. And then I worked in Singapore and Sydney, and I worked in London. And I came home here, and I was living here and working away in the fintech area. And then this is a bit of a personal history. What happened was that we bought a big house in the country, myself and my husband. Then we hit the recession, and we hit the recession and divorce at the same time. Never a good combination. So he went back to the UK, became bankrupt. I gave all the debt to myself and our 2 children. So I had a big house and no money, and my business was starting to crash because the divorce, horrible, it's all personal, whatever. So I tried to sell the house. I made a video, and it went viral. And I got a cash offer of someone to buy the house at 500,000, but the mortgage was more than that. So the banks refused consent to sell, and they preferred to repossess. And they sold it the following year for 165,000 euros. Ridiculous, because it's an 8-bedroom, 8-bathroom manor house, so it was crazy money. But in the midst of all that, the reason why that's important is that I discovered that the banks were shaming ordinary people, saying that people were gaming the system, or this narrative that they were like, all these banks use these terms like moral hazard and debt forgiveness. And I'm going, excuse me? And then people were starting to say that they thought that people were not paying their mortgages on purpose. And that wasn't the case at all. Most ordinary people would not risk the family home, just because they're not going to pay the mortgage. What's that all about? So I got very agitated and I became an accidental activist. And I went through a whole range of things. When the banks took my home, I had to go bankrupt myself here in Ireland. I was the first female bankrupt under the new laws. And then I realized that as a bankrupt, I wasn't allowed to run for public office because it was perceived, there's old law saying it was like somehow it was shameful to have failed financially. So at this stage, because I'm starting to, I became quite famous. I became the face of austerity in Ireland, if you like. And I was on NPR, came and videoed me, and Al Jazeera and Russia Today. And I was going on about how the banks had to take responsibility, not just the people. And then when I discovered I couldn't run, I brought the Irish government to the High Court and the Supreme Court, and I changed the law because I said my constitutional rights were being infringed. And then I ran for Europe because that was the next election in 2014. And the reason why that's all important is that I had an ordinary life, nice kids, everything happy, nice big house. And then I went belly up. And then I began to realize I'm a slow burner that this world is not very fair, is it? This is wrong. A lot of people were losing their lives in Ireland because they were being shamed that somehow their failure had been wrong. Anyway, that all happened, and I could have activated. But when I finished the run for Europe, everything went very quiet. And I thought, well, how can I change the world? I don't like this world. There's a lot of things that are wrong. 1%, only 83% of the wealth. How can I change it? And then I met blockchain 2 years ago. I went, aha! And all of a sudden, I just went, I can see a way, this sounds so whatever, but to make the world a better place. I can see a way that we can change things, we can undo stuff, we can unthink things that have always been done, and look again at how we live our lives and how we expect people to live. And I just went, wow. It just blew me away. It blew me away. And I know it was also a crazy time of the ICOs. That was interesting too as well, because I was going to resign to, always being broke forevermore, and that was it. But I thought, I can actually make money again. That's nice too as well. So the whole combination, and most importantly, by the way, it's not just I could make money again, although that's a very nice thought, but I could rejoin the human race and become a tax-paying citizen, and maybe even afford to buy something in the future. But other people can as well. And that's what I really like. It's a very inclusive, the world that I look through the blockchain prism is a very inclusive world and a much nicer world. And I want to live in that world. That was quite short. Was that long? Was it short?
No, that was great. So you've had quite a journey over the last 10 years or so. So what year was it again when you got into crypto?
2 years ago. It was around this time, last 2 years, 2017.
Very nice. So that's great. So now you're freelance writing for Irish Tech News. You also have your own radio show on Dublin City FM, and you also have an EOS Ireland show. So you're busy. You're writing lots of content. You're interviewing lots of people. Actually, you interviewed me previously on your show. Yeah.
Do you know what they say, that expression? It's an ill wind that blows no good. And I look back at the 10 years that I had, and I was pretty miserable. A lot of it, it's not nice having no money and banks taking your home, and then all that stuff, have business collapse, bailiffs. It's not nice. But it gifted me something. It gifted me a new view in the world, which is interesting. And then when I met blockchain, I was able to take all my interests. And now, I have 2 radio stations actually here in Ireland, one commercial and one community. And I do the podcast for EOS, and I write. I do a lot of writing, and I adore writing. So all these things that I'm doing now, I mightn't have done them, or I might have been, I don't know, I'm all out there now. So my career now is fantastic. And I've been traveling the world, chairing and speaking at conferences. that's been so exciting. Actually, I'm just back from Malta. I had a great time there. And then I was in Cape Town earlier this year. And then before that, I was in Kiev and Oman and Sri Lanka and Amsterdam and London. So, and at these blockchain conferences, meeting the most amazing people who are all bubbling with excitement.
So these last 2 years have been amazing for you, huh?
Do you know what?
For us too. We've seen the same thing. It's been crazy. We started our show in July of 2017, and the journey that we've been on since then has just been amazing. So many great, not only so many great people that we get to meet, but so many great people who listen to the show that then we have a chance to meet them and the listeners. It's just so cool. Like, life changed so dramatically with the cryptos in our world.
Yeah. And what I love about it too as well is that I realize now that my mission in life is not only to talk within the bubble, within the filter, is to go outside it. So I'm going to talk at any event, Irish Countrywomen's Association, I don't care, to talk about blockchain because it's too important for it to be, for it not to succeed. And so I'm going to widen my net now. I know my friends say, I don't go on about blockchain. I'm like, no, very important, really, really.
They'll get there eventually. They'll get there. We're going to link in the show notes to your blog because you can actually go there, the JillianGodsil.com, and see all kinds of interesting content, including the diary of being bankrupt and recovering from that. And also, I'm not sure I know what this is, but you have Thinking Woman's Erotica. Is that like blockchain turns me on so much? I mean, I don't.
That's a different kind of. It's a different kind of chain.
Yeah. Well, actually, in 2013, when I was so broke and I had no money, and I was on the dole, welfare state. Thank the Lord for the welfare. But I was on 180 euros a week, and that was for myself and my 2 kids. So I had so little money, and E.L. James was making a fortune. So I said, all right. An erotica, but it's really interesting. It's a trilogy of erotica, but it's feminist and it's funny and it's activist. So if you want to know what happened in Ireland during the crash here, the post Celtic Tiger, you buy the crypto. I changed it. I called it originally. What do I call it? The Cougar Diaries, Part 1 and 2 and 3. Wow. And I changed. Guess why it shows up there. And then I changed it to Confessions of a Cryptomaniac. And I'm rewriting with Bitcoin and blockchain.
So men are like, Bitcoin, bad coin. And you're like, talk bad coin to me, baby. So you actually have really built a name for yourself in the crypto space. You've been shortlisted for Image Businesswoman of the Year, for Woman of the Year by Women in IT. You are chairing blockchain events and speaking and keynoting, and your life has changed dramatically. And one of your missions is to help get more women into blockchain because blockchain needs the gifts and talents that women bring. Talk about that a little bit.
I often start my talks by saying, for the first time in my career, my gender and my age is a positive. I'm a woman and I'm 54 years of age, and it is a positive thing. And ordinarily, I know when I was 50, before I met blockchain, I wrote an article because I couldn't get any work after the elections and all the rest. I couldn't get any work. And I was going, I'm invisible. And women often find that they become invisible at 50. Either the children have left the nest or they become invisible. It's a known phenomenon, if you like. But now I discover, because blockchain needs women, my age is actually positive, which is a great thing. But even more importantly than that, I do believe that women should get involved because there's about 4 or 5% of women in blockchain. And I think part of the reason is that women tend to be more risk adverse. And so they hear all the noise about the Ponzi stuff and all that sort of dark net, so they get worried and they don't go into it. But it's too important a technology for women not to be there. If someone said, if the Lehman Brothers had been the Lehman sisters, we mightn't have had all this kerfuffle. So it's not that women are inherently better than men. Although I do give a speech that's very funny. So the men get very cross in the middle. But it's just that we are 51% of the world's population, so we need to be represented in this very important. Because just for the thinking, because what I love about this industry is that, apart from being terribly exciting, there is a huge undercurrent of wanting to make the world a better place. It's a very strong ethos, positive ethos in this industry. And I'd like to see that nurtured. And I think women can help nurture and make sure that the FOMO stuff and the Lambos and To the Moon are secondary importance. I've no problem with people wanting to make money, but let's make money in an ethical way.
Do they make pink Lambos? I wonder.
I don't know.
Right?
Just to paint them.
Yeah.
I don't know. My car is a very old 17-year-old car. So diesel. I know diesel's not any good these days. As well.
Right, the engines on the diesel. By the way, you get 5 bonus points for using the word kerfuffle. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I wish I had planned some other funny words to use.
Well, you can exchange those points in for nothing, really.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's okay too.
They're worthless bad crypto points. That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you have been named the crypto queen, as well as one of the top 50 most influential women in global blockchain. That's amazing. From your story that you just told us, from going from bankruptcy and then in the last couple of years, gaining global influence from your cottage in Good Boy, Ireland. Like, congrats on that. That's freaking awesome. I love it.
I'm so lucky because I really thought my life was over after the election. I thought I've done my bit. I did a pure heart run. It was to help people to remove the shame and stigma of financial failure. I was very happy that I did it. I know I helped other people. So I'm very, very happy with that. But then how lucky I am to have discovered blockchain and to discover it early as well. I know I'm not terribly early, but to be able then to use that, and I'm so lucky. And I'm lucky that I had the crap 10 years, because if I hadn't had the crap 10 years, I mightn't have recognized the possibilities of blockchain. I might have gone, yeah, it's interesting. So I'm very lucky.
How can we get other women in mass to understand blockchain and crypto? Because I've seen all these reports. I've done extensive research into retail, and women literally hold the purse strings in most relationships, most marriages, right? They are a driving force when it comes to consumption of goods and buying things worldwide. But when you go to these conferences, they're like 95% dudes, right? That's maybe it's an overshot. I think maybe it's now 85% dudes, right? And so what is that watershed moment going to be to get more women on? Is it going to be this new Facebook coin? What is it that's going to help women go, blockchain, and kind of take the path that you've taken?
Yeah, good question. I definitely think that Facebook, although we have those of us in this crypto world, I'm not probably terribly fond of Facebook in general. I mean, it has pros and cons. It will help. And I think what I'm trying to do personally myself is putting myself out there and trying to do all these talks. And I gave a talk in we had a blockchain summit in Dublin a couple of weeks ago during Blockchain Ireland Week. And I was quoting the new book by Caroline Credo Praise. She is an English woman who, a feminist, very interesting, but she was talking about invisible women and how things like medical studies are all done on men, things like toilets. There's always a line of women outside the toilet, and people say, at a public event, whatever, the women, they're all doing their makeup, that's why they're taking so long. They're not. There should be 2.5 times as many toilets for women as there are for men, purely for practical reasons. Women do not have a penis. So it takes them longer to go to the toilet, basically. And they often, their carers, they often bring their children in, or their aged people. So the world has been created by men for men. And with very little, like I say, the medicines, all those medical drugs that have been trialed for heart conditions, for anything, any diseases, they're mostly done on men. So that's crazy. So, and women are different. Like car seats. Car seats are not designed for women. And although more men are involved in crashes than women statistically have a greater chance of being injured, because car seats are not really designed for our bodies. We're different than men.
But what they do design for women is those shoes. I mean, could you imagine us trying to walk around in those torture devices that you women wear?
Well, that's a very good point, because if we didn't have them, maybe I think that's more of a culture thing.
But they look good, so we like to look at women.
Okay, and I must confess, men in heels don't do it for me. Yeah, I'm old-fashioned.
I think the poll quote for the image for this episode, or maybe the title of this episode, should be "Men Have a Penis." Since
I'm stating the obvious here. But
what's great about crypto conferences is that there's no line for women's bathroom.
That is very true. That's the one benefit.
That could be a selling point. Hey, ladies, blockchain, come to this conference.
Online, no waiting.
There'll be no lines in the bathrooms.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what's happening locally. You know, as you ran for, a government seat there, you're obviously a blockchain proponent. What's the status of, blockchain in Ireland?
Okay. Well, I have to say, by comparison, just take a step backwards. When I was in Malta a few weeks ago, very impressed by Malta. Malta, they want to be the blockchain island. They are doing everything. They had government ministers all over the conference. A lot of very positivity. I'm very impressed with that island. It's only tiny. It's like 400,000 people live there and have an influx of 3 million during the tourist season, whatever. But Ireland, going to Ireland, we are getting there. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but Ireland has been very clever in terms of attracting fintech companies. We've got 9 out of the top fintech companies headquartered here. So we've got Facebook and Google and Airbnb and Salesforce and Twitter. You name it, they're here. We also have 9 out of the top pharma companies headquartered here. So the government's been very, very bright at attracting multinationals to come here. And also there's other benefits too as well. We have marketed ourselves as a young population. I think we're getting old now, but we're English speaking, highly educated. And once Brexit goes through, we'll be the only native English speakers in the EU. So there's a lot of things about, we're only a tiny island, and there's only 4 million people in the south. So we are very advanced in some ways. With blockchain, it's a little bit slower, It's we did have our first Blockchain Ireland week in May. That was very successful. Over 50 events took place. Again, one criticism about the government was they were at their own event, but they didn't attend the other events. So it's a little bit, not as fast as we would like it, but it's definitely, it's ramping up. I mean, I think that Blockchain Ireland week, we actually made it into the mainstream papers. And without being, dark web or anything like that. That's it, because I'm also a freelance journalist, and I've written for the main broadsheets here. But I can't get them to take articles from me on blockchain. They just say, no, it's a Ponzi scheme. I go, no, it's a technology.
Yeah, it's a technology. And a lot of these old world sort of organizations, the way of banking has always worked for them. And so this whole idea of digital assets is hard for them to comprehend. But what I always say to them is, about only 1.5% of all actual money is printed in paper. The rest of it is already digital money, but it's controlled by these centralized bankers who don't have our best interests at heart. This right here allows us all to be a banker. A lot of people think, oh, well, it's backed by gold from the leprechaun at the end of the rainbow. They use that gold to make the doubloons, but they don't. And once people realize that it's all, magical internet money, even the real currency is. I mean, here it is. You can print out a $100 bill in America for 6 cents, and then you can deposit that $100 bill in the bank, and then the bank can loan it out 10 times. And so, that 6 cents essentially created $1,000. But not only that, then they loan it all out, and then they get paid interest back on money that never even existed that originally cost them 6 cents. It's just mind-blowing to me how the original system is set up. And once people truly understand it, they go, wow, are you serious? What? They don't get it. And so I love it when people do get it. And people who are in the crypto space get it. And it's exciting to us that are.
I've had those conversations. Again, the gold standard. I'm going, excuse me, do a bit of history here. It was Nixon decoupled it in the 70s. But prior to that, it was all after the Bretton Woods Agreement, when all the countries basically gave all the gold to the US. And so that's why Charles de Gaulle argued. He said it was the exorbitant privilege of the Americans to print a €100 note, but the French had to earn $100. So, I mean, and then also we look at quantitative easing. I mean, that's counterfeiting. And
Let's just turn the printing presses on, you guys.
Yeah,
they're still on.
I'm going, do you not think our own money is funny money? I think Tim Draper recently gave a comment, and it was very clever. They were asking who's going to win. I'm not saying it's necessarily a battle in that sense, but he said, fiat is controlled by government and bureaucrats. And whereas all the crypto space, it's the brightest, smartest brains in the world are active in that space. Where would you put your money, literally? And he's right, because the energy and the intelligence and the innovation is all in crypto. So we're going to win.
We're going to
win. I mean, Katie Taylor, our lightweight boxer, I don't know if you know her or not, she's just won another belt. She's the undisputed lightweight female boxer in the world. So I'm being very pugilistic today.
Ooh,
Do I get a point for that word?
Yes, you do. Pugilistic is a fantastic word. I don't know that it's ever been used on the show before. I think we should have somebody go through all the episodes, Travis. Right?
You said pugilistic? Nobody's ever said pugilistic. I'm going to give you 10 points for that and the kerfuffle.
10 points and one worthless bad coin.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, just as we get ready to close out today, I'm curious, what else has really got your attention right now in the crypto space? What are you super excited about?
Tokenization. That's one thing, and especially property. And that's of interest to me because when the banks took my home and took everything, so I still have nothing. And so for me to get, I need to buy some land. We've got some rescue horses, never have rescue horses. How do I do that? Because I'm now 54. I've had my own business the last 2 years since bankruptcy. But I need to borrow money. You need to have like a 5-year accounts of your company. And I'm kind of modestly earning at the moment too as well. So, and then I'll be nearly 60. What bank is going to lend me money? So how can I buy property? But maybe with tokenization I can. So there's all these different things that are happening that are because I go around the world saying about the unbanked and how terrible it is, blah, blah, blah. And then I went, oh, I'm unbanked. I have a physical bank account, but I can't borrow money. You know what I'm going? I could repay money, but I can't borrow money. The thing that I'm focusing on now is where the two worlds are going to merge. So will tokenization of property maybe be able to help? And also, what I want to do, I'm getting involved hopefully over the summer with a project that will help build affordable housing here in Ireland, a major project. But that would be amazing to turn full circle. And yes, I want to help myself and my kids, of course I do. But to help other people, wouldn't that be amazing? That would be like, wow. And saying that there is a different way of doing stuff, folks. We can do things differently and better.
Absolutely. That's great. Second chances, you know what I mean? Like we're all in, it's good to, we don't always get it right the first time. So it's nice when society allows for some redemption. Tell us a bit about the EOS stuff that you're doing. And have you heard of Morty's yet?
Well, as in the cartoon series or the TV series?
Well, yes. And
okay. What's Morty's doing? What is Morty's?
Well, we have a friend who's been on the show before. His name's Kurt Braggett. He is an EOS developer, and he's working on some really significant projects. But out of his rear end, he pulled this project to celebrate Morty's. Yes, it was very much like that. To celebrate Morty's, and he created Morty's dollars, basically Morty's tokens. He minted 10 trillion of them, and he has this vision of it being the Dogecoin of the EOS platform. And the way that you earn Morty's are by being bribed to do something. And he's got a Telegram already set up with 314 members that are bribing others. It's Morty, t.me/Morty's token. And he calls it an intergalactic parallel universe compatible cryptocurrency meant for virtual world in-game assassination markets, shielding Rick-like beings, virtualized hijinks, and various other stupid shit. That's what it says.
Wow. Could I put a hit on my ex-husband?
Well, virtual in-game, it says. So we do not encourage or discourage. No, we do not encourage that. But it's a fun joke coin.
Wow.
And he bribed us to talk about it. So now we have a stack of worthless Morty's tokens. And
I must talk to him because I was trying to launch, because I've got these rescue horses. I was going to launch a rescue horse coiny thing. I must talk to your friend Kurt, but I should actually point out
he's super EOS guy. So if you're doing EOS stuff, you definitely need to chat with him. We'll make a connection.
Because I would love to introduce, because I was going to say too as well, I work with EOS Dublin here with Sharif Booktil. I don't know if you know him or not, amazing guy. And interesting, like I love the EOS community because it's a nice community. It's like a layer within a layer. It's very nice. But they're launching next month a thing called Europe Chain. And it's with there's 5 block producers in the EU, and they're launching a GDPR compliant blockchain. No, that's interesting. So it's to appeal to enterprises, and the enterprises can build on this blockchain. It's GDPR compliant, AML5 compliant, and they can bill they can invoice in fiat. Takes the risk away.
Which is fascinating. Very good. What do you think about voice, having that being on the EOS platform? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? And do you know anybody over there? Because we'd like to get early access there to start building up.
Well, I've signed up for the beta, but I don't as yet know anybody in there. But I'm very excited by it because
we probably won't get in because we're both alphas. So
that's true. We gotta wait.
We're not beta males.
Beta's over.
Yeah, we don't drink soy, so
I only drink almond milk.
And you're not vegetarian, obviously, or vegan.
What do you mean? Obviously,
what does that mean?
Only because Travis eats beef stew the whole time.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, don't nutritionalize me or whatever.
Yeah,
misdiet me. Jillian Godsil, the website jilliangodsil.com, Humans of Blockchain, all the links in the show notes. Go check out what Jillian is up to, because obviously there are shenanigans involved and some big words as well. So you're guaranteed to expand your vocabulary by spending time with her. Jillian, thanks so much.
Thank you. And I wish I brought more words with me. I'm really sorry. I should have looked at the dictionary before I came.
Yes, next time come equipped with a dictionary and a thesaurus, please.
I will, absolutely. I will use serendipity to make sure I have the most beautiful words. Is that a good word?
I like serendipity too.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
Sarah's great.
Bit dippy.
And thanks again, Jillian. We appreciate you, and you would be welcome back with your delightful Irish accent and your super smart brain at any time.
What a great story about how, she was sort of down and out and had gone through some bankruptcy stuff and challenging, relationship stuff. And then she rebounded amazingly well over the past couple of years, found a new niche for herself, and is having a great impact on the world. That's very inspiring.
She didn't rebound. She just rebounded.
Right.
Rebounding is when you pitch a fit and bounce back. She didn't do that,
okay,
though. And there's a lot of links you're going to want to read more about her. There's actually a story about life after bankruptcy and, couch surfing and this lifestyle she had. She's been featured in the Irish Times and the UK the Independent publication. Go to our show notes at badco.in/284 and see all the links we've got there, because this story goes deeper.
Do you believe in life after bankruptcy? I believe
Who was that? Who are you trying to be?
Was it Cher song?
Oh, gosh. Why? Really? Really? I mean, I started this episode with a reference to the gods of progressive rock, King Crimson, and you're going to throw Cher in there?
Well, yeah, you started it good. I ended it bad.
Well, I mean, speaking of, she's one of those. She is one of those nutballs, her, Bette Midler, they just say insane stuff.
Yeah, they've been indoctrinated with Hollywood stuff for so many. It's like, I don't even fault people. They don't even, well, I don't. It's like, this is the indoctrination that they've had. Maybe someday that they'll see the light. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I'm not necessarily worried about it. I wish them well. I wish everyone well. That's the difference I've noticed is people who freak out on one side of the aisle, they want to ban everything. People on the other side of the aisle are like, hey, live and let live. Things on one side of the aisle, they go, oh my God, I don't like this. You can't watch this. We need to ban this. The other people are like, I don't like it. I'm just not going to watch it. So, I mean, some people are chill. Some people are not chill. But you know what? I love everyone. I got nothing but love for everyone out there. And, you know what? I wish everybody would get along, because, the way society is set up now and the way the media fuels things, they're trying to divide us. So you need to fight against that division and stay together, one another.
All we are saying is give Bitcoin a chance.
True.
That's what Lennon would have been singing today. He would be like, "Oh, do a Lennon accent and talk about how much you love Bitcoin."
I love Bitcoin. I tell you, I saw just the other day. Actually, I'm not going to do that accent, but I did see the movie yesterday.
I want to go see that. Yeah, you told me about it.
You should go see it. It's pretty interesting. And there is something happens, and there's like a timeline shift. Right, all the electricity goes out, and then everybody has never heard of the Beatles. People have never heard of Coca-Cola. They've never heard of Harry Potter and other stuff. But some things they have, some things they haven't. So since the Beatles never existed, John Lennon never got killed, right? And so it's just a weird, interesting timeline of what's going on. So if you like the Beatles, I would say that's a fun movie to go check out. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it's pretty fun.
Totally. Yeah, fab.
Stay fab.
That's
It's the Fab Crypto podcast.
Christo, Fab
Yeah.
Christo.
It's the Fab Crisco.
Hey,
I really
thanks
like
for
it.
listening, everybody. It sounds kind of oily over there. I'm not sure what's up with that. Hey, would you please take a moment, go review the show and indoctrinate a friend? Tell them about bad crypto. What are you laughing
Hey,
at?
we just made some political commentary. Now go leave us a review, and they're gonna go, these damn people in their political commentary. I hate them. I used to love them, but now I hate them.
We'll catch you guys on the flippity flop. Stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.